Well, good morning and welcome back to the 100-day project, day 2. And what an incredible sunrise. We're just parked over here. Mountains in behind this house here, just taking on some of the early morning glow. Sunrises in about 5 minutes. And this is a perfect example of the struggles that I'm going through, albeit first world struggles, but the struggles I'm going through as a creative and a photographer, while also living a nomadic life. Now, as a photographer, and especially on mornings like this, I would much rather be up there somewhere, or out in the wilderness, or in a woodland, or by the coast, than here in this village. But of course, living the nomadic lifestyle means that sometimes we had a very busy working day, both of us yesterday, and so needs must. And that quite often can take precedence in actually being somewhere especially for sunrise. Over this last year, I have continually beat myself up over not being able to be creative because I wasn't in the perfect location. But perhaps I need to change my mindset somewhat. For me, photography is a lot about the light. Yes, you can talk composition and you can talk all of this other jive and story and emotion and whatever, and they're all important as well, but light. And I find myself more and more drawn towards light. I have got hundreds of pictures of just random objects, but random objects bathing in beautiful light. And looking at the light hitting the crags up here, and there's more over to my left, and indeed those little narrow streets that we were walking yesterday. They were taking on some glorious light last night. I'm sure there's some beautiful light even in amongst there, bouncing between those sort of crumbling walls. And so perhaps it is time that I changed my tack somewhat, and rather than lie about berating myself and feeling sorry for myself because I'm not out in the wilderness, I take advantage of where I am. I challenge myself from where I am. And looking at this back here, I probably could have made a series of images with the 400mm lens that actually I would have been very, very happy with. In fact, you can walk about half a K outside of the village, get a little bit slightly more elevation, and certainly none of this scrub really in front of you, and get even better vantage points off the light. So I think I need to stop whining and start making. Now, I promise that this 100-day project will not be all photography related vlogs, but every so often I'm sure I'll throw one of those in. But I just wanted to chat a little bit about how my mindset is. We'll carry this on later on today, but how my mindset is and how I'm really trying to make the best of where we are. And that sounds really ungrateful, because where we are and the lifestyle that we're leading is, we know we're very fortunate, especially because we can actually work while we're on the road as well. We went out yesterday, had a fantastic run, spent the afternoon in the library working. Really, really good. So trying not to kind of belittle or diminish the fact that we are very grateful for doing that, but also the life that we're leading has led to some challenges from my creativity, but perhaps those are self-imposed challenges as well. And in fact, probably if I was to drop in here 2 or 3 of my favorite photographers, even if they're landscape photographers, I guarantee you they could have made over these last 24 hours some images from this location that I would have said, I wish I'd have made that. Right, well, as that light continues to kind of develop, it's going to probably pop over the visible horizon in the next few minutes. I'm going to go grab a coffee and enjoy the moment. See you in a bit. So one of the other things that really helps the old noggin, running. And one of the things I'm hoping to do, or get out of this 100-day creative project or 100-day project, is get myself marathon ready. Now, back in the day, I did run a couple of ultras. I'm nowhere near that sort of pace or that distance now, but I'd love to get a couple of marathons under my belt in 2024 and a couple of half marathons. And that involves a lot of pounding the streets. But pounding the streets, good for the heart, good for the noggin, good for the legs, and leaves a little bit of room for kick. Right, only doing a little 5k this morning, so I'll run back down into the village. before I get eaten by a random dog. Let's go. Whoa. Got lost, did just over 4, but the extra mile, all good. Well, I reckon I'm going to wrap up day 2 here. So I guess the theme and the message in this little mini vlog is just get up and do. Self-imposed creative restrictions because I'm not where I would think I'd like to be. I still could have made a very nice image. Oh, here come the police to arrest me. 2 minutes. Yeah, so I could have made excuses, which in a way I did. If I had just got out of bed earlier, wandered around the town, I probably could have made an image. So self-imposed creative restrictions. And then even here, the village is quite small. The road that leads in and out of the village is rather dangerous without a footpath. So again, I could have said to myself, well, there's nowhere really to run. Did a 5 miler yesterday, 4 miler today. So again, self-imposed restrictions. So I guess, as I say, the message is just get up and do, especially when you don't feel like doing it. Right, time for coffee. That's day 2 of the 100-day project done. See you tomorrow.